Hello, everyone, and welcome to the City of Moose Jaw's 2024 Capital Projects presentation. My name is Craig Hemingway. I'm the Acting Director of Strategic Growth for the City of Moose Jaw, and as mentioned, this is meant to be a real high-level look at some of the major projects our city has on the go that you are going to see. That's really what tonight's about, projects you're really going to see and experience over the next several weeks and months, and some of which you already have seen in the City of Moose Jaw. This is not every single capital project the city has, but we have pulled the most forward-facing projects, and most of them to do with road infrastructure and a few other things that are going to impact most, if not all of us, as we drive around Moose Jaw in the near future. So I would like to first introduce, we have several city staff online with us for this presentation, including Tyler Erickson, our Manager of Engineering Services, Travis LeBlanc, Infrastructure Renewal Project Manager, Stacy DeBrescu, Manager of Public Works and Utilities, Christy Jory, Manager of Transportation and Procurement, Keenan Presti is our Capital Projects Coordinator, and Haley Hart-Rashenko is our Acting Manager of Communications and Stakeholder Relations. And so we thank all of them for being with us here tonight. This is being recorded and will be posted on the city's website and social media channels. And we will take some questions at the end. If you have a question, just feel free to put up your hand and we can have you put your question into the chat box. So with that said, we will get tonight's presentation underway. City of Moose Jaw 2024 capital construction projects. And there's just a quick agenda of the things we're going to go through here tonight. We'll begin with our land acknowledgement. The City of Moose Jaw is located within Treaty 4 territory, the original lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, and Lakota, and homeland of Métis Nation. The Naheilak translation of Moose Jaw is Moso Tapskin and is the shared landscape for Indigenous peoples and settlers from around the world who call Moose Jaw home. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we are committed to move forward in equal partnerships with Indigenous nations with respect and in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. So infrastructure renewal is where we start. And, in previous years, we've called this, it's been water main replacement. But as we've done the water main replacement program, and this is phase 9 of that program, it began in 2015. It's evolved to include a few more things. So now beyond just the water main pipe replacement, it includes storm and sanitary sewer upgrades. It includes concrete replacement and also includes paving. And so what you've seen already as we start the spring is some wrap up of the infrastructure renewal from 2023, working on the surface work of the 500 to 800 blocks of Fairford Street West, a few surface things, including the final paving of that, and similar surface work at 16th Avenue Northwest from Caribou to Stadacona Street. And so those will be wrapped up over the next few weeks. 2024 infrastructure renewal, and we are just underway with that project. Just a few days ago, Cotto Street West, the entire stretch being completed this year is 8th Avenue Southwest to 12th Avenue. They're starting on the 1100 block, and those road closures went into effect at the beginning of this week. On April 29th. And again, that project's going to pick up steam on Cotto Street West over the next few days. And also highlighted there, you see on May 6th, Main Street North from Manitoba Street to River Street, infrastructure renewal happening there. And then associated with that, as the weeks go on, River Street East from Main to First Northeast will happen. And then some of the other sections that you see there, 9th Avenue Southwest from Cotto, Cotto to Grandview, Rorison Avenue, Pasco Crescent to Thatcher Drive, Gray Street, Corman Crescent to Thatcher Drive, and Thatcher Drive West, Gray Street to 16th Avenue Northwest. So there's going to be a lot of inconvenience in a lot of high traffic areas in the city this year. And of course, anybody who's driven some of those areas, Cotto Street being one, and know how important this work is. But yes, it will be inconvenient, and detours are in place on Cotto Street right now, and will be detours on Main Street coming on Monday. And so those are some of the things to keep in mind as we go forward. City of Moose Jaw, in terms of communicating what those detours are and what the work is. We have already begun issuing our weekly construction updates through the city's website and issued to media. We remind everybody that all businesses do remain open. When we're doing work in business corridors, those businesses are open, and our contractors work with the businesses to provide customer access. So there's certainly sidewalk access when the work is going on. unless there's some immediate work right in front, say a service connection, but that only will delay that for a short period of time. But all of those things are in action, and so some things to remember about that. Again, tell your friends and tell people you know from out of town when they come that yes, even though there's some construction happening, that those businesses do remain open. And you can follow the City of Moose Jaw on all of our social media channels on Facebook or Instagram or X as it's now known, and also even on LinkedIn. And we're always issuing updates on infrastructure renewal and other city construction projects. So now we'll move on to some of the paving and concrete work. And if you ever hear, say in a council meeting, any of our engineers or even councilors refer to something called TR1, that is a code for how it's outlaid in the budget. So when you hear TR1, that's the paving and concrete work that you see. And this map shows across the city some of those locations, and we've laid them out a little bit easier to read for you right here. So these are the locations where paving and or concrete work is going to be happening this year. So a lot of sidewalk work is already underway, and everywhere that's highlighted in yellow right there is where there's concrete work underway right now. The paving itself has not yet happened, but there is some concrete work happening. And also what I indicated there, Main Street from Manitoba to Fairford, that will be paved. Once the water main work is done, Manitoba to River, they're actually going to pave Manitoba to Fairford Street. And you may have noticed on Main Street North that concrete work underway from Saskatchewan Street to McDonald Street. So that's underway right now. Later on this year, Thatcher Drive will be paved, the westbound lanes, Main Street over to the Saskatchewan crop entrance. Heading east, actually. My apologies, eastbound lanes. Cotto Street, 12th to 16th Avenue Southwest. Again, they're doing some of that work right now. Hall Street, 7th and 9th Northwest. That concrete work is going to be completed as we sit here and record on May 2nd, possibly the end of May 3rd, weather permitting, because of course we are getting some rain. And there's concrete work currently underway on Wellington Drive from Everton Crescent to east of Wellington Place. So those are a couple of the really big ones we've gone through. Again, the infrastructure renewal and the paving. And again, we'll be issuing regular updates for that work with weekly media releases every Friday, and then again posted to the city's website under our news section. So as we move through some of that bigger infrastructure work, our Parks and Rec have a number of capital projects on the way this summer. And again, there's way more than what you're seeing on this list, but these again are some of the more front-facing things. And playground renewal has been a big one. And some of the upgrades you're going to see, you see them all listed there at Crescent Park, a new garbage receptacle and picnic table. Sunningdale Athletic Park Playground, a new picnic table. VLA Gate Playground, a new garbage receptacle, picnic table, and a bench. More benches and garbage receptacles at Elgin Park. Some edging around Optimus Park Playground and some re-landscaping. And a new toddler swing set going in at Regal Heights. So a lot of playground upgrades you're going to see this year. If you like going to ball games at Ross Wells Park, night games, it's going to be much better to go watch the Miller Express or any of the other ball games there. There are some LED lighting upgrades happening at Ross Wells Park this year, so that's exciting. And then some overall sports field renewal taking place this year. The Kinsman Sports Complex, Caribou Heights, as you may previously have known it, but of course, Kinsman, we thank them for their naming sponsorship. Score clock replacements both at Elks Field, where they play football, and at Eddie Moore Park, the Fastball Diamonds. They're going to finish Elks Field building upgrades. You might have seen some of the new siding there already. Some LED lighting upgrades there as well, and a new aluminum bleachers and concrete pad. That's all at Elks Field. Optimus Park, where the Fastball Diamonds are, a new privacy wall for ladies' washroom and exterior lighting on the concession building. Also, they're going to contribute towards pavilion installation. So lots of upgrades at Optimus Park. And McCullough Park, Dayton Diamond, some drainage issues, and they're going to be addressing those. So that's kind of the capital projects piece of what we wanted to present to you here tonight. But beyond some of those front-facing capital projects, there are a few other things we wanted to talk about. And for this next one, I'm going to throw it to Haley Hart-Rishenko to discuss a real fun one for us coming up in a couple of weeks. Haley?
Yeah, we've got Public Works Week happening from May 19th to 25th. And of course, our annual open house is happening in the middle of the week on May 22nd at the City Complex, which is 1010 High Street West. The open house is happening from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. So over that lunch hour, hoping that we can get a lot of the public out there. It's open to everybody. Bring your kids if you're interested in working for the city. it's a great opportunity to come and see how diverse our operations department is. There's going to be a couple of food trucks on site, demonstration, so there's a little something for everybody out there. And yeah, it's just going to be a lot of fun, and everyone is welcome to come and participate and see what Public Works does every day, all day, to provide service to our residents.
Yeah, it's a real fun one. As you can see from the pictures there, again, we have lots of schools coming. They get to go and sit in all the equipment. And if you're an adult, we'll let you go sit on a on a piece of equipment if you're really excited about doing that. But it is really a fun day, and we welcome anybody in Moose Jaw, or even if you have some visitors from out of town who want to get a sense of what Public Works does, by all means, please join us that day. And as we talk about Public Works, one of the big Public Works initiatives that happens every September, you may be somewhat familiar with this, is unidirectional flushing. And the real high-level explanation is there in terms of what that is for. It removes sedimentation from the water mains to help improve our water quality. But to give a little more background on that and its importance, I'll throw it to our Manager of Public Works and Utilities, Stacey DeBrescu.
Yeah, so this year we'll actually be covering Zone 2. Last year we covered Zone 1 and 3. So the core area of the city will be impacted. We'll be starting from the reservoir and moving outwards. We do cover 1 week of evenings, and the purpose of that is to not impact the downtown area. So we run that through the nights. What we do recommend for residents is to pay attention to your app, pay attention to the websites, continue to look on there. On the website, you'll see that there's a link to the map directly telling you when you will be flushed, when your property in front of your property will be flushed. The map shows yellow when it's within 24 to 48 hours. It will shift to blue as soon as the line has been cleaned. Once the lines are cleaned, you're free to go on using water as normal. We do ask residents that when they notice they're in the yellow, refrain from using the water within the working hours, which will be posted on the website, as well as we put signs throughout the city to notify people that flushing is coming. But once we actually are cleaning in front of your home, if you are running water at the same time that we're doing the cleaning, you may have sediment come up your service lines, which then you would need to flush your lines. It takes about 3 weeks, the entire program to be completed, and once it's done, they're out, and not till the next year in September.
And as you can see from there, Stacey mentioned Zone 2, that shaded area, that is the zone that's going to be impacted this year. So again, we do have that map on the city's website. So feel free to, again, check that out. And if you have any questions about unidirectional flushing, we do have some information on that on the city's website. Work zone safety is another one that we've begun to really, we've always promoted, but really are wanting to promote a whole lot more, given some close calls we have had in our work zones. And maybe I'll throw this back to Haley just to talk about no more notoriously close calls.
Yeah, so you might be hearing that on the radio, seeing it in ads, but it is something that we like to put out as much as possible, is the no more notoriously close calls, as some of our employees, staff who are out every day trying to improve our infrastructure and trying to improve services for residents have almost been hit by vehicles, which is very unfortunate. We put up the road close signs, and the police actually can enforce a $150 fine for people who are passing through those areas. We're just doing our best to keep everyone safe, whether it be our workers or residents in the area. So we always ask that you keep a safe distance from vehicles and equipment in the area, and have a little bit of patience with us, as we'll be in, like Craig mentioned, some of these high volume areas. I know people are going to be rushing around trying to get to their summer activities this summer, but we just ask that you give us a little bit of space, take the detours, and follow all the posted signage as best as you can while we navigate through some of these higher volume areas.
Excellent. Thanks, Haley. And as always, when you see any issues in the city, and certainly, we see lots of potholes, of course, this time of year and other things, we do encourage you to use the free City of Moose Jaw app for several things, including submitting requests for service. And that can be, well, anything you think needs attention in the city of Moose Jaw, from potholes, or maybe it's graffiti, or you need your trees trimmed, your city trees that are on your lawn. And it goes beyond. We do have a bit of a screen grab there, which may or may not, you may not or may not see real well, but you can do so much with the app. You can book your recreation activity, find out all our facility hours, get information on all of our programs and services from transit. You can pay your parking tickets, our relocation guide. You want to tell somebody to get a life and move to Moose Jaw, you can do that. So the app is incredibly useful. And another piece of it is that we do send push notifications, and we try not to overdo it so it becomes an annoyance. But when there are important things for us to get to our residents, road closures being a big one, and oftentimes they're, immediate road closure. Something's happened and a major roadway has to be closed, a certain portion of it. The app is a one way that we can push out that message immediately and get it right into your hands. And of course, if there, hopefully not, but if there ever were any larger emergencies in the city of Moose Jaw, certainly we would use the app to push out those notifications as well. So if you do get the app, opt into notifications. We promise you're not going to be bombarded with the notifications unless they are absolutely necessary to how you live your day-to-day life here in the city of Moose Jaw. And so with that really is that high-level look that we were hoping to get across in terms of our capital projects. Again, we would encourage you to visit our website, moosjaw.ca, and also follow us on our social channels, Facebook, Instagram, X, and also even LinkedIn if you're in the business world and want to be connected there. We do post to all of those. Again, all of our updates in terms of programs, services, the infrastructure work that we're doing. We do communicate there and through local media also. So on behalf of all of our staff, we do thank you for attending our 2024 capital projects overview.